The Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is at extreme fear 13. This is fantastic because we left 5, 7, 11. Now we are at 13. This means we are heading towards the great region. And if we look at crypto bubbles, you see that for the weekly setup, we have a couple of coins that have done well against Bitcoin, like Pippin, DC, EtherFi, JAWS, DOT, Staple, ARB, and many others that have done well against Bitcoin. And if you look at the Bitcoin chart today, you can see that Bitcoin is approaching this fair value gap around from 65,000 right down to $64,000. The question now is, how are we going to position ourselves today? Because today is Friday, is our capital protection day. Is Bitcoin going to dump, pump? So I don't know. But what I do know is what we are going to talk about today. And I have the list here. We're going to look at the entire market in general, like look at the higher time frame buyers. We're going to look at key zones that we need to pay attention on, or we need to pay attention to, because these key zones are the zones that we use to establish market structure. And what I want us to also look at the zones where we have the weekly setup, because it's very important we understand the weekly bias. If see we are still in that area, and the rest will come afterward, right? We have to read the market first before we react to what the market is doing. Having said that, guys, let's dive into our show. But you are welcome. If you say you're new, of course, you know the drill. Smash the subscribe button nice and early, and let's dive straight away into the show for today. I like I talk about this. I think is this a chart? I don't think so. Let me see. There's a chart here that I brought in, and I was talking about this chart long time ago. Let me see if say I can bring that chart here because it's very important. We bring the chart that we have been talking about here. By the way, I don't analyze the market with indicators. I analyze the market first before I bring in my indicators later. To help me out with who- how to position myself. Yeah, this is the chart that we did the analysis, and I want us to stay like first of all, let's go to the weekly setup. Let's see where we are currently because it's Friday. You see that we hit this um POC zone that I marked long time ago, and this was based on previous price action. This volume profile trading zone. And what I mentioned there is if say we reject this POC zone, then we can likely go to the value area high. You can see, looking at this weekly setup, price did hit the value area high section. But if we look at the previous week setup, you can see if we mark the high and the low of the previous week, which we did mark the high and the low of the previous week. You see, price is around, let me say, at the support zone of previous week price action. So if we see this week close out of this range, I'm gonna mark the range for you because I think it's good for us to always have our data here to guide us in the future. So this is the zone that we need to pay attention to. If by any chance we see the price of Bitcoin this week closes inside this range, inside this zone, then we can easily break and close right down to 49,000 or $59,000. As I mentioned earlier, this is the zone $59,000. And after that, we can easily go down to this other low here around $49,000. But now, let's drop down to the daily time frame. Let's see how this is playing out. You can see clearly, based on the line I drew in the middle, it's playing out properly on the daily time frame. Look at this huge engulfing candle with high volume. I think this candle came with a high volume. Yeah, it came with a high volume. You can see here this volume, this green bar here. This is awesome. And what I want to see is the price should hold this zone, this midpoint here, this midpoint of this candle. And if we manage to hold this midpoint today, then there's high chances that we can easily go back and break above this value area high. But for us to be able to feel comfortable again, you guys shouldn't forget what I mentioned earlier in my previous videos. We need to see Bitcoin stays above $73,000. Why? Why Bitcoin must stay above $73,000? If we look at a higher time frame, marking or price action bias, you can see that based on the higher time frame markings, if you look at this level here, this is the zone that price break. This is a zone, this zone here, price break with high volume, yeah. And for us to be able to consider that price is back in an uptrend, we need to see price break back above the $73,000. That's the only moment I can, be confident enough to say that maybe we are going to 100K. But also, if price keep rejecting, like if price break and close above the value area high zone, this area here, if price break and close above this area and moving sideways, rejecting the downward trend or downward like refusing to go down to break down, then there's still high chances that we can break like this with high volume and target that resistance up there. So it's important you understand where the structure is and how you position yourself, on lower time frames if say you want to trade this daily. So after we must have established this, which we have already done, you can see that we are at this midpoint based on higher time frame buyers. We are still bearish, but as at the key level, key liquidity zone where price should be able to hold or break. If price hold, they're good and fine. If break, then we know what to do. Now going down now to the 4 hours time frame, we can see clearly the structure on this time frame. You see clearly. Let me zoom out. Let me zoom so you see very well how the structure is playing out. You know. So based on this, guys, I want you to pay attention to how price has been moving ever since we saw this drop down here, like this drop down. Okay, let me take this up so we have a clear view. You see, we have this dump, yeah, distribution to the upside, and then price also distribute to the downside, distribute to the upside, distribute here before this movement. But one thing about this huge pump that happened recently is that it didn't went to take out this high. This it took out this high, but not with any significant, like we didn't see any full candle closed above this high. Let me mark the high for you so you understand what I'm trying to say here. This high here, which has a fair value gap, this zone, price didn't actually break close out of this range with, like, we didn't see a full candle close above this. Let me bring it a little bit closer. This is the high. We didn't see a full candle close above this area. This is concerning. If we are not able to see a full candle close above that zone, then it means we are going down. And if we are rejecting the zone now, and we have rejected the POC, the rule is if we are breaking now this midpoint that we drew here, guys, we are going straight down to the value area low, which is going to be around the 59,000 price point, as I mentioned. Okay, we have to understand this, because if you are trading, you need to understand the range that we are in. And because we are at this point in time, the best thing for you to do is rotate your capital back to a stronger asset. And if you are like me, that use Bitcoin as a base currency, then I'm going to be in Bitcoin. And if I'm going to be in Bitcoin, I want to know what USDT dominance is doing. And if I look at what USDT dominance is doing, it tells me that dominance also is at a key level. So I don't need to rush out of Bitcoin yet or out of my altcoins yet. But I need to understand what will happen to make me go out of my altcoin. So I mark these key areas here for USDT dominance too. If we see USDT dominance break out of this range, this line that I drew here, then the chances for us to continue upward is high, because this line here is based on the alpha trend sell signal. The indicator is not here, but this is based on that. And if we break and close above this fair, where we take all this fair value gap here, this which zone that we have here, and price is not able to reject like with I mean, very soon the US session will begin. If US is not able to take like to do something like a stop hunt, yeah, then price can easily continue, right? Or I want to say price, I mean dominance, level can increase above 9% and even go higher based on this higher time frame setup. So we can even go higher, right, up to above 9%. But again, I think that what price is doing right now, dominance is doing right now is responding to this huge movement, and you can see the volume has been reducing, and ever since we break structure, yeah, we haven't yet retest structure. So I think if say we're gonna like break and close all of this range, like close all of this range above us, then we need to see pullback at one point in time. And the pullback is going to be really awesome for altcoins, right? You see, yeah, the pullback will be awesome for altcoins. If we break above here, the pullback will be awesome for altcoins because altcoins are going to pump when price is going to retrace back to this key level, yeah. So this is what I'm looking at for USDT dominance, and I'm looking also in relation to what Bitcoin is doing because I will need to understand what is going on. You can see, guys, clearly that we are forming this order block around this zone I marked with USDT dominance, and this if we see the US market open and this reject, then we know that Bitcoin is going to do well and all coins are going to do extremely well with Bitcoin. Now, let's look at some key areas that I am looking to buy Bitcoin. I'm going to share with you guys why I'm looking forward to buy Bitcoin if I see Bitcoin get to that area with high volume. Now, if I go to the 1 hour time frame, I want also see something here, right? This is not a random price action because ever since we made this huge move to the upside, price has not built any, let's say, higher low zone. This was just a manipulation move to the upside. This downward trend now will determine which area is the low. Is this area the low? Let me mark it for you. This zone here. Is this the low that price don't want to take out? Or is this other area down here? This other zone down here, the low that price don't want to take out. Okay, because if you see, these are all important key areas. But if I look at the chart, you see that there's imbalances around this zone here, around this let's say $64,000, right down to this area. So if say we are to take out this liquidity down here to an extent somewhere here, I think it should fill out these imbalances here also, right? These imbalances here because we didn't fill out this imbalance here before price took off like that. So if say price come right down here around 64,300, I'm buying, right? So, but I'm buying with the condition that I'm gonna see a quick, huge buy, or it should be a stop hunt, or I should see an engulfing candle, or I should see an order block form after this one is taken out. So that's what I'm gonna be looking at, to get in. But on the other hand, you see that we have been in a downtrend, constant downtrend. If I go to a different chart here, we see that. Let me bring in Bitcoin. I think this is the chart. Let me see if I have let me see. I want to get the session time here, so I bring it very quickly. Yeah, session time is here. Okay. Let me drop now down to the 15 minutes time frame, and we see where we are currently. Okay. So where we are currently, I think to an extent we might see is maybe this is the stop hunt. This is it. Like this is a stop hunt. Yeah, this is it. Let me see if this is accompanied by volume. Let's see. Yeah, this is accompanied by high volume. This is the stop one. So, guys, I'm gonna take this trade right now. I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna take this trade right now. I have another trade going on, but I'm gonna take this trade right now with my phone. Let me see. Um, the stop loss is gonna be just below this. I see this with high volume. So let me see. Um, my stop loss. Let me go to the 5 minutes time frame. Yep, with volume also. Okay, this is tricky because Let me see. Even though that's with high volume, if I go to my CoinAnk chart, let me see if I can see. I'm not gonna bring the chart live with you guys here, but I'm not gonna check it somewhere um on my other computer. So I want to see where we have that imbalance. No, I'm not going to take the trade. Why? Because price, we have lots of liquidity sitting below price 1 million. We have also 1.9 million. We have this imbalance around 64,500, and closer to that we have daily. I think that was yesterday's daily open. Oh yeah, 2 days ago there is open. So I'm not gonna like play with this. I think this is gonna be fake out because we have this liquidity down here. You can see I already marked it a long time ago. If I go to the 15 minutes time frame, I'm not gonna take the trade right now because of like we still have huge imbalances around this area. So I'm not gonna fall for any liquidity which is gonna take like any liquidity move or grab gonna take place soon. I think it can easily we can easily see a pump up there, then dump, then continuation to the upside. Well, I think that's what might happen, or maybe price is not going to continue and ignore the imbalance that is below. That what I'm seeing, and the imbalance is directly below. Let's see, it's around. Let me see. The imbalance is directly below this, or is around 64,500. Yeah, 64,500. That's where the imbalance is. Yeah. So I think we can easily see price go to 64,000 300 or 64,500 before we see any major movement to the upside. But if price continues to the upside, good and fine. But it has to align with the way I trade. So that's that for Bitcoin, and we now understand the barriers for the week, what we need to see to invalidate the movement, how we need to rotate capital. If say you are in Bitcoin or altcoin right now, wait a little bit. This is let me give you the signal here first. Or let's stick with let me go to the session time. Let's see what has been going on here with session time. So this is today. Asia started here. Let's see, started here, and it took us right towards the UK. Then UK dumped us. So if Asia started here, let me go to a different chart so I can see something different. Let me see. Yeah, I think I can see something different here with this chart. Guys, I have multiple chart that I use. you know, this one is more is nice because I have the the midpoint of the day and so on and so forth. So with this chart, what I want to see right now, I have the high of and low of the day and the mid Asia. So you can see this is a good move, and I think this move will take us right up to mid Asia. This is mid Asia, and this is the high of the day, or it can take us right up to the high of the day. The high of the day is around 68,200, and the low is 65,624. So this is the trade. If say we actually break and close above this $66,000, then it's good news. Why? We're gonna sit at a key area that we can easily continue right up to this 68,800. Based on the previous price action. You can see, if we break and close above this zone here, then we can easily, or we can see price weak out to um this 50-day moving average, which is the mid Asia zone, and from there price can continue to dump to the downside. That's what I think might happen when the US is gonna open. The US is gonna open soon. UK is active now based on my indicator, so US will open soon. Now let's see what is going on here with Solana, gold, and silver. Let's begin with Solana. Let's see. Solana is playing the same game. You can see, like, guys, it's awesome. If you just chart Bitcoin, you analyze Bitcoin, you can just use the analysis and trade any altcoin. Yeah, that's what I always say to you guys. The reason why I always focus on Bitcoin doesn't mean that I want to trade only Bitcoin. No, I want to use Bitcoin as my base currency to to analyze to automatically analyze any other altcoin in the market. You can see I already drew these zones here. You can see Solana has rejected this zone at 82 at one point here, and we should expect price to continue at one point. If say Bitcoin is to continue, then you're going to continue. And if Solana break and close below inside this range, then we can easily drop down more. We can usually drop more downward. You can see there are lots of liquidity or fair value gap zones here. If I go to the 4 hours time frame, you see the 4 hours buyers. Look at the structure, the same as Bitcoin. Price has recovered half of this move. So we need to see price build around this area, yeah, for for Solana before maybe we can cons- uh, start considering buying Solana. This is an important area of interest. If we see Solana stay above this zone, right, then it's gonna be a good thing for us. But if say we price is not able to do that, but you can see that we have fair value gaps here, and that we can easily look for that buy opportunities there. So that's that for Solana. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum for today is also, I think, similar to what Bitcoin and Solana are doing. We have our range here. This is our mid range that we need to see Ethereum hold. This is a zone. Make sure you mark all of this zone if see you want to take advantage. And you can see this is in confluence with this fair value gap here. You can see, so if say we at one point in time we see price here and price reject this area, then there's high chances that we want to continue price to the upside. And if you look at the daily time frame for Ethereum, you can see the same build up as Bitcoin. I think the target is more, uh, the higher time frame is likely to okay, what I want to say is the direction is focusing more on higher time frame, like not higher time frame, but to the upside. The direction is focusing more to the upside than the downside. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not able to say this. So we should focus more on taking longs than short on until we break below this 1,700 dollars for Ethereum. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. The target is more upside than downside, or the trend is more upside than downside. Yeah, the right word to use is the trend is more upside than downside. At times, I I'm not able to get some words to say when I'm live. That's why I love doing live, because it's exposes everything, that nothing is perfect. Oh yeah. So looking at gold now, let's see where we are. If say we are respecting those key areas, yeah, you see, gold has hit my zone. I talked about this zone last time. I even drew this volume profile zone, and I told you guys that if gold is attempting to either reject from this zone or target this high. So if we see any movement up here and down here, I even drew the trend. We can easily see gold break and close right around this area. But we need to see it take out this liquidity here, and this is exactly what gold is doing. And I also mentioned that and I also mentioned that we need to see gold reject this value area high zone, and we have been seeing gold doing exactly that. So this is good for gold, but the target should be this zone here around 5,400 or 5,500 price point for gold. So make sure you pay attention to that. And if say we lose this zone, this level, this 5,000 price point level, then we can easily drop down to $4,900 for gold. And if say we drop down to that point, we can easily get to this POC region, which is around $4,600, and from there can drop down to even $4,500 for gold. Now going to silver, let's see where we are with silver. Silver is also playing the same game as I mentioned. If we stay above this value area high zone, then we can likely see silver attack this liquidity here that we have, this fair value gap, this zone that, or this area that we have this fair value gap area. And this area also is an alpha trend zone of interest. And this is a sell alpha trend zone of interest. So I think if say we're gonna break and close above that area, then the chances for us to go and make the next high for silver is high. So if we see silver stays above at least $103, then the possibility for silver to continue to the next high is high. Okay, guys, that's that for today. Let's just rush quickly to see the altcoin market. Let's see total trade what is doing. Or total trade, these are all cryptocurrency. See, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. Let's see this on the 4 hours time frame. You can see the same structure as Bitcoin. All coins are following Bitcoin exactly. If we break above, then we target this liquidity above here. If we break below, then we are going to continue to dump. I wouldn't mark the midpoint here. For this, we don't want we don't want to see this break below this line in the middle. If say or we see total trade stays above this zone, then it means strength for coins like Ethereum and other top altcoins in the 100 in the top 100 altcoins. Then if you look at total two, these are all cryptocurrency, excluding the top 10 in the space, and you can see almost similar structure. You can see, guys, similar structure. All right, that's why it's always good to understand how to navigate the market. Read the market first by analyzing Bitcoin. Look at USDT dominance before you drop down to this other altcoins or this other macro chart to see whether they are aligning with Bitcoin, or you look at other altcoins whether they are whether they are aligning with Bitcoin or moving alongside Bitcoin. So, guys, that's it for today's show. Hopefully, you got some value from today's video. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. But make sure you share it with your friends out there. Until then, guys, see you on Monday. Market open, and don't forget we have Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for our live. And guys, if say you want to follow the exact like my exact blueprints, my strategy, my plan, everything, I've made a PDF that you can get. Go to the description of this video, you find the PDF, download it, and use that framework to guide you throughout your trading journey. Like, it's very important you have a guide to help you know what to do at every given period in time as you get into the market. Until then, guys, see you the next one. Bye bye. Ciao.